Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Invasive Species, the series where we run Hoenn mons in Kanto and Kanto mons in Hoenn. Rules for these runs are outlined in great detail in the description below, but here's a quick recap. Only Ralts in battle, no items in battle, held items are okay. We run on max IVs, we pick the nature, ability if applicable, and a single egg move. Ralts is an interesting one, a first form psychic type with, shall we say, a few problems. First off, this base stat total, not even over 200. We're slow, frail, and don't hit very hard. With 45 special attack as our best stat, I see no reason to pick any nature other than modest. We won't be using our physical attack at all this run anyway, so might as well put all our eggs in that small basket. And although this level up moveset has no real variety, I gotta say that despite that, it's kind of interesting. Psychic at 26 is a little strong, but we're gonna need that kind of firepower with us being as weak as we are. The real problem is that we don't start with an attacking move, but at least that will only persist until level 6. If it's coverage you're looking for, well, the TMs are looking a little bit better. Having access to Thunderbolt is pretty amazing, definitely going to be saving up money for TM24. Shadow Ball would be nice, but it is physical before Generation 4, and while it only has 40 base power in Gen 3, Thief, also special in Gen 3, at least gives us a little bit more variety in terms of coverage. I can't see us using a move that weak the entire run, but it'll be nice early on. Definitely appreciate having it for Misty's Starmie. Safeguard's on there too, that'll be pretty useful, especially for Agatha, and a couple of other problem spots I can think of. Ralts' egg moves are interesting. As a whole, not very good, but the choices are still kind of neat nonetheless. If this were a team run, Destiny Bond coupled with Click Claw would be amazing. These all kinda suck, except for Will-O-Wisp, and even that's not great, but it does provide very useful utility, as well as a way for us to deal damage right out of the gate. This move has 75 accuracy and causes a burn, which cuts the enemy's physical attack in half and deals periodic damage, equal to 1/8 of the mon's total health. And, well, even with that, our appropriately named protagonist still can't defeat their rival. Wally sucks even when we play as him, but he certainly is no stranger to this channel, not just for being our punching bag in Invasive Species, but I actually did a Fire Red run where I went through the entire game, main and post, with Wally's team and moves and 0 IVs, if that interests you. I'll leave it in the comments section as a pinned comment. So our main problem early on is that we need to be able to deal reliable damage. So on that end, we'll dive a bit into the early game routing. It's been a couple episodes since I've done that anyway. I like to go after the optional Bug Catcher with the 2 Metapod and Caterpie first. And for this run, it's pretty much required. Once we get Confusion at level 6, we can mop up in Viridian Forest, and we'll fight the rival west of Viridian City for some extra XP. One thing worth mentioning is that Ralts was able to choose between Synchronize and Trace for its abilities. I went with Trace because any run where I don't have to worry about Sand Attack feels like such liberating freedom, a blessing from Jesus Kun Yamato himself. The thing is that Metapod has Shed Skin as an ability, so it's going to be a real chore getting that burn from our egg move to stick on that thing. And you'd think that Growl wouldn't be very useful, but it actually has awesome synergy with Will-O-Wisp. That wasn't very evident against the intro rival, but being able to cut our enemy's attack by a significant margin in the early game really will help. I can see this combo being useful against Brock too, especially since his Onyx will not prioritize Rock Tomb. Being that we're slower than his Ace and will be for quite a while, we'll be able to beat Brock by that point, at least I hope so. Again, 198 base stat total. As we make our way to Pewter City's gym leader, we battled every trainer. One thing to note is that Ralts is in the slow level up group, so we really did need every last bit of experience. And the strat for Brock is as bare bones and simple as you get. Lead with a Will-O-Wisp, hope it hits, Growl to further debuff the team's attack, and spam Confusion. Let's see how many tries this takes us. Well, that was the original idea, and then when I went into this battle, I was like, wait, we have double team, let's use Will-O-Wisp if we can get the darn move to stick. Finally, there we go. And with Geodude on fire, we can set up double teams to boost our evasion, and use Growl to further debuff its attack. I figure that we'll set up until we reach about half health, because I don't want to get crit by Geodude, which would bypass the attack drops. And with 15 out of 30 health, we're going to go for Confusion and take out the Geodude. And as Onyx comes out, we're going to lead off with Will-O-Wisp. Thankfully, the first one hits. We really do not want to get hit by Onyx, because when our health drops to a certain point, he'll go for Rock Tomb, and with same type that'll take us up. Fortunately, that doesn't happen because he never hits us. And don't worry, those of you who don't like Double Team, this is the only major battle we make use of this move, and I'd rather get by Brock at an early level using DT than over level and make everything up to Cerulean a complete joke. Remember, if we're trying to go as fast as possible, DT early on is the strat. Oh yeah, and one more thing I forgot to mention at the start. I think the text prompt was on the screen, but another thing that we choose is our hidden power. We don't have it right now. In order to get hidden power in Fire Red Leaf Green, you'd have to be able to get that from pickup, and we can get that after we clear Nugget Bridge. Meowth has pickup, so it's just a matter of RNG, and we're going to clear Nugget Bridge first anyway, because I want to get to level 21. You'll see why here in just a sec. That said, we have to get through the Cerulean rival. Much easier said than done. Thanks to our ability, we'll be tracing Keen Eye, so no worry about Sand Attack. However, it is faster than us, even without Quick Attack. But we're going to go for Will-O-Wisp, and judging by this fight, I think I have a strategy for getting through it because, yeah, no way are we winning. Knocking out Pidgeotto nets us quite a bit of XP even with our slow level up groups, so the strategy here is to blackout grind against Pidgeotto until we're able to get through this fight. I gotta say, when I chose this as our egg move, I was not expecting to make such use of it so early on, and it's really awesome to see that in action. It's playing an absolutely critical role in our success here. As long as we can KO the Pidgeotto, we will eventually be able to break through, and it's either this, lose a bit of money, or go grind in the grass patch, and I'm perfectly fine losing a little bit of money. We don't have much anyway right now. And thing is that after we get by Pidgeotto and Rattata, we still have Squirtle to contend with, who does have Bite. And we seem to be getting pretty awesome Will-O-Wisp luck here, all things considered. And even better, we take out the Pidgeotto with 34 out of 46 health. That's awesome. Even better, we one-shot Rattata with a crit. And as our rival sends out Squirtle, we're just going to keep spamming Confusion, trying to do as much damage as possible. With 10 health remaining, we're able to outmuscle it, and we win because, yeah, there's Abra, but, well, Abra can't fight back. We can finish it off with Thief. Now, this victory is awesome. A lot earlier than expected, too, which is always great. Now, you saw our moveset at the start of the run. At level 21, we learned Calm Mind. That is an absolute game changer, and to that end, we're going to have to grind off of every single trainer we encounter, even the ones south of Cerulean City, in between Cerulean and Vermilion, I'm thinking. And as we make our way through Nugget Bridge, go to Bill's house, get the SS ticket, all that good stuff, we're going to see the fruits of our labor here in just a sec as we drop a nice healthy save right in front of Misty. We are at 1 hour and 20 minutes. Now, despite our level lead, Staryu is actually still faster than us, and it can waste turns with Harden. That's what we want to see as we set up Calm Mind. 3 Calm Minds with a little over half health? Well, let's hope this is enough. Thanks to our held Oranberry, we were able to 2-shot Starmie with Thief. I was expecting this to take more than one try. That's very, very nice. And you know what's even nicer? By the time we get to our rival aboard the SS Sand, we are a little bit higher leveled up, just high enough, in fact, to have Psychic on our move list. And a bit of a mistake here. I used Thief on War Turtle, not enough to take it out, unfortunately. That is going to cost us, I'm afraid. We're able to one-shot Raticate and survive Hyper Fang, but Kadabra's faster, finishes us off. That's what I get for being cocky, though I'm using Ralts, so I'm not sure why I feel that way in the first place. Anyway, with a slight adjustment to our strategy, as in just spam Psychic after Calm Mind, we're good. Against Surge, we tank 2 hits from Voltorb, take it out with 1 Calm Mind-powered Psychic. Pikachu's next, we outspeed it, a very easy one-shot. Raichu's faster, goes for double team Psychic, does about 3/4. Shockwave brings us to 10, and we're able to finish it off. You know, I don't know why it didn't go for Quick Attack. I mean, it does have that move. Well, that's Surge in a nutshell for you. Next up is Giovanni. Onix is perfect to set up against. It deals very weak damage with Rage. We set up 2 Calm Minds, go for Psychic, one-shot it, no problem. Next is Kangaskhan. It is faster, and Psychic does pretty good damage there. Nice special defense drop, too. Unfortunately, Mega Punch does connect, and we go down. Well, Mega Punch can miss, so we just gotta try this a couple of times. I'm feeling pretty confident because we know that 2 Calm Minds is the answer to get by this fight. That and Onix can virtually do nothing to us. As Kangaskhan comes out, we get hit by Bite, no flinch. Well, Tail Whip on turn 2 is an interesting choice in strategy, but, you know, that's just how Giovanni rolls. He really hates winning Pokemon battles. Now, before we battle Erica, I figure we'll backtrack on over to Lavender Tower, defeat the rival, rescue Mr. Fuji, get the flute, all that good stuff, and then we'll go fight Erica. And as is standard in these challenges, the Lavender Tower rival is not much to write home about. And I figure this is probably where we're gonna let Thief go, because although it's great for Execute, going forward after this fight, we're gonna need something a lot stronger, and Calm Mind powered Psychic, I'm thinking, is still gonna be just as good, if not better, in terms of damage. And I know just the move we're going to replace that with. And one other use of Thief is that we can use that to save on Psychic Power Points as we make our way through Lavender Tower. I gotta say, I'm very glad that it's special here in Generation 3 because it has pretty good synergy with Calm Mind as well. Anyway, all said and done, let's head on back over to Celadon City and battle Erica. I am pretty confident about this. With a Sherry Berry equipped, we can set up Calm Mind, and we should only need one to sweep her team. Alright, turn 1, we go for Calm Mind, there's Stun Spore, there's our Sherry Berry proc, there is the Psychic one-shot. Perfect. We set up a second on Tangela as it misses Poison Powder. Okay, now we're definitely gonna win. And yes, Thief is still on our list. I didn't say I was getting rid of it straight away, now did I? Now against Koga, we have the type advantage, but we have the stats disadvantage by quite a lot. With all the leveling we've been doing, we clock in at 4 hours, 11 minutes. Well, we don't want Coughing Stick around because it has Smokescreen, so one Psychic takes care of that. And as Muck comes out, we're going to set up Safeguard, replacing Thief, and that way we can set up without fear of being poisoned. Unfortunately, Muck sets up Minimize, and, well, we're not able to hit at all despite that. So, despite that being a decent strategy, well, in theory anyway, because that was disproven, we got taken out. It's so great, in fact, I decided to try it again, and playing the RNG slots, we finally hit Muck, one-shot it, we should be good. Muck has the highest special defense on this team, so yeah. Now we gotta do even more grinding in preparation for the Silph Co rival. Just know that I tried this at a lower level a couple of times and it didn't end well at all. We do still have our rare candies up to this point, but yeah, we are level 50 now. One Calm Mind, we tank Wing Attack, crit Pidgeot with Thunderbolt. Believe it or not, Blastoise actually survives. We get taken a 38 health off of Bite. We finish it off with the follow-up, and as Growlithe comes up, obviously that's no problem at all with a single powered-up Psychic. And as Execute comes up, we're going to set up Safeguard. It's going to keep going for Stun Spore because Gen 3 just loves its status. Well, I do too. We're going to keep setting up Calm Mind. And just for the heck of it, we'll reapply Safeguard, power up to the max in preparation for Alakazam. It's faster, goes for Calm Mind, but it can't survive one Thunderbolt. Yeah, up until level 50, we were getting outsped by Pidgeot and Blastoise. It's kind of weird to think that one level really made the difference, but, well, I guess it did. And because we have a significant level lead over Giovanni here in Silph Co, he's going to be completely trivial, a stark contrast to our showdown at the game corner. And the fact he leads off with Nidorino is pretty solid because there's not too much he can do to us. The moveset's pretty terrible. Copying Poison Plant with Trace was pretty cool. It would have been kind of awesome if Kangaskhan got poisoned off of it. It doesn't happen, but I thought that would have been neat. It is the only member of Giovanni's team that survives a single Psychic, so yeah, that's about the size of that fight. Next up is the Psychic Gym, which shouldn't be too hard of a time for us. She inexplicably has Venomoth, so that's going to be a free knockout. However, the Kadabra she leads off with is no pushover. It has Calm Mind, which it goes for on turn 1. It goes for a second one as we deal just under half with a Psychic of our own. It sends off a Future Sight as we take it out. She sends out a Venomoth next, but that's no trouble at all. One Psychic takes it down. Well, Mr. Mime is almost a one-shot, and we take a lot of damage off a Future Sight there. With a third Calm Mind, we one-shot Mr. Mime with Thunderbolt after that heal. Alakazam goes for Calm Mind, we use Thunderbolt, hits us with Psychic, brings us to 25, but that's not enough. We take it out with the follow-up. Next up is Blaine, typically the hardest gym leader for us here in Invasive Species. Will that be the same for Ralts? Well, only one way to find out. Let's go ahead and escape out of this gym and head on over to Cinnabar. Blaine leads off with Growlithe. Intimidate is useless for us because although we copy it, we don't hit Growlithe with it. We go for Calm Mind, he goes for Fire Blast, burns us, we've got a Rostberry. Calm Mind, Fire Blast misses, Calm Mind. Growlithe switches to Takedown, that's just as well. We take it down with Psychic. Next is Arcanine. I'm surprised that we're faster and that we one-shot it. Okay, we should be in the clear as long as Rapidash isn't faster. It is, but we don't get flinched off a Stomp and Psychic one-shots it. Well, that could have been way, way worse. Now we're going to go to the Sevii Isles again. We want to battle as many trainers as possible. It's tempting to use the rare candies, but I want to save those for as late as possible. And even then, we have to maintain a bit of a level lead over our opposition, which is the mark of a really poor Pokemon. I mean, it's Ralts, base 198 stat total. I gotta tell you too, I'm glad that we learned Calm Mind naturally, because if we had to wait until we beat Sabrina to get the TM for it, this would be way, way worse. Getting ready to battle Giovanni. We're gonna go ahead and take the initiative with one-shot Rhyhorn with Psychic. We're gonna risk setting up on Dugtrio. Unsurprisingly, it's faster and does quite a bit of damage with Earthquake, so we just have to not get crit here. Oh, good, we don't. Alright, we should be good. Nidoqueen's down, Nidoking is down, and level 50 Rhyhorn also goes down. So our rival has been consistently difficult throughout this entire run, not counting Lavender Tower. That's more of just like a warm-up battle than a rival battle. This one's usually tough though, so let's see how Ralts manages here. We go for Calm Mind, surprised that we're faster. We tank Wing Attack, no problem, take it out with a single Thunderbolt. Blastoise sets up Rain Dance as we crit with Thunderbolt, probably needed that. And we can celebrate our level up by one-shotting Rhyhorn. And you know what, let's introduce Growlithe to a game of Double Dare. Ooh, there's a reference. And just like before, we can set up Safeguard and Calm Mind on Execute as it fails at Stun Spore. Alakazam disables Psychic, but we use Thunderbolt. Nice try, buddy. Now we can go full speed ahead to Victory Road and the League, and gonna show you where a fun little hidden Lepid Berry is. It's pretty easy to miss this one, but you can get it as early as the 3rd badge if you feel like backtracking, in case you need a PowerPoint item. Alright, getting ready to face Lorelei. We clock in at 6 hours 29 minutes. I'm gonna see how we match up against her before using our rare candies. Trace comes in clutch as we copy Thick Fat. We go for Calm Mind, Dewgong goes for Surf right away. On turn 2, we go for Calm Mind again, Dewgong goes for Surf again, and we munch on that Oranberry for 10 more health. Okay, with 2 Calm Minds, we should one-shot Dewgong with Thunderbolt, and we do. As Lapras comes out, I go for Safeguard, anticipating Confuse Ray. It does go for Body Slam, that might have blocked Paralysis. Sadly, Thunderbolt is just a bit too weak with 2 Calm Minds to one-shot Lapras. Okay, so we need 3. In our second attempt, Dewgong goes for Safeguard. Unfortunately for her, we don't have any status afflictions besides Thunderbolt, which doesn't matter because we one-shot it after 3 Calm Minds anyway. With Lapras and Cloyster down, Slowbro's next. I set up Safeguard to block Yawn. She goes for Amnesia. Thunderbolt paralyzes Slowbro. Lorelei uses a full restore. Doesn't matter though, we can easily outdo that healing. We set up Calm Mind, Tank Surf, set up Safeguard, not for Slowbro, but because Jinx is next, and she'll keep going for Lovely Kiss, so we're good to go. If there's any advice I can ever give you guys through experiencing this game, it's to find yourself a significant other who loves you the way that Gen 3 loves status. Okay, Bruno time. We're gonna go straight for Psychic and one-shot Onix. Hitmonchan's next, and to my great delight, we are faster, and it's a one-shot. Hitmonlee is faster and deals almost 100 damage with Mega Kick before we one-shot it. Onix number 2 is next. We don't one-shot it, and it defeats us. Well, that is pretty on brand for Wally, so we're going to use some of our rare candies and try again. And I was kind of surprised by this, but we're actually faster than Hitmonlee now. Hitmonlee has base 87 speed, so it's pretty fast. And yeah, with those level ups, Bruno's trivial. Speaking of fast Pokemon though, Agatha's up next, and Gengar is pretty darn fast itself. Levitate we don't care about. It goes for Toxic, but we have a Pecha Berry and have Safeguard up. With 1 Calm Mind, we one-shot Gengar with Psychic. Safeguard blocks Golbat's Confuser, we take it out with a single Thunderbolt. Next is Arbok, and we do one-shot it with a crit, but I probably should have set up Safeguard because Gengar 2's next is faster and hits us with Hypnosis. And Shadow Ball did not one-shot us. I bet you that was a very low damage roll, though. So, not setting up Safeguard was a mistake. However, Arbok does have Screech, and Gengar 2 is faster, so with Screech, Shadow Ball 100% would one-shot us. And again, I'm pretty confident that that was a very low damage roll. Not only that, but Gengar 1 has Shadow Punch, and it deals a lot of damage to us without any defense drops. We might have a level lead over this team, but stats-wise, we are way, way weaker. So as we rare candy up to level 80, this should be a lot cleaner. I gotta say, too, having great luck against Double Team there, a stark contrast from our performance against Muck earlier. And hey, this time we outspeed Golbat, that's nice. As Arbok comes out, we set up Safeguard, and it misses with Screech, 15% chance of that. The second Gengar is faster, but it just outright misses Hypnosis as we one-shot it, and the Haunter is obviously no problem at all. So if Gengar 2 is faster than us, that means Lance's Aerodactyl will be as well. But honestly, I doubt that Ralts would outspeed Lance's Aerodactyl even at level 100. With all of our rare candies used up, we have to win here, otherwise we have to go back and then grind some more, which will absolutely obliterate Ralts' ranking. And without further ado, speaking of Lance, let's get right to it. And you'll see that we replaced Safeguard with Hidden Power. And as Gyarados goes down, as long as we don't get taken out by Aerodactyl, which we don't, thankfully no Ancient Power boost, we're good to go because Hidden Power, probably not surprisingly, is Hidden Power Ice, makes absolute mincemeat of Lance's team. We might have been able to outmuscle them with Psychic, but I still think it was the best choice because we'll have use for Hidden Power Ice in the next battle as well. Alright, all we have between us and victory is the champion. Funny enough, it's Wally's second time going through Kanto here on this channel, and considering that I want to run the entire Ralts line, he might be a recurring trainer here. And this is unfortunate, but Pidgeot is faster and hits us with not 1, but 2 Aerial Aces, and I mean, we take it out. Ooh, next is Arcanine. Oh, that's bad. We do deal a lot of damage with Psychic, and as the champion heals, we crit. That was both nice and necessary. As Blastoise comes out, we are faster, but it survives and takes us out with Bite. Okay, we have to have Pidgeot at least a turn or two with Feather Dance. And as we try again, okay, we're faster. Is this a speed tie? I'm pretty sure it's a speed tie. Oh, hey, there's Feather Dance. Very nice. Wait, what? We're going first again? I'm not going to complain about that, but alright. And with an extra Calm Mind, Arcanine is a one-shot. With that extra Calm Mind and level up, Blastoise absolutely is a one-shot with Thunderbolt. Alakazam hits a weak Psychic as we one-shot it with Thunderbolt. Rhydon's next, we go for Hidden Power Ice, though I'm sure Psychic would have sufficed. Last is Executor, one-shot with Hidden Power Ice. Well, that was quite the interesting run there. Another run where the first rival battle was actually more difficult than the final one, if you can believe that. The only other instance of that was Dratini in Pokemon Ruby, and oh, that was an absolute nightmare fuel to get by that. So we know that Ralts is level 81, but what about that time, that final time? Well, saving those rare candies till the very end no doubt made a difference as we clock in at 6 hours and 49 minutes. The Egg Move and Hidden Power were nice, but the real linchpin to Ralts' success 100% was Calm Mind. Either way, it's very easy to rank this little fella. Ralts at level 81 is nice and snug in the D tier. At 6 hours 49 minutes, nice and snug in the B tier, so yeah, C rank. Probably better than you were thinking, definitely better than I was thinking, I'll tell you that right now. Next up is Abra in Pokemon Ruby. See you guys there. Later, guys.